into the DNVR Avalanche Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook. Use code DNVR when you sign up for a new account to get amazing odds boosts every single day. Rudo, AJ, Blaze coming to you as the Avs give another one away. They lose the Seattle Kraken 3-2 in overtime. They do get a point, but I don't think that point is going to be much solace for a game that they were leading with less than 3 minutes to play in. Not good enough? Simple as that?
Yeah, I mean, you're fine with 57 minutes. You feel great.
Yep.
You're on a second half of a back-to-back. You're losing your legs late. You got them pushing, but not crazy hard. They're not generating a bunch of chances. You're not getting outshot by a ton in 5v5. You've killed off 5 penalties, including a 2-minute 5-on-3. Everything is fine. You're in a good position, and then your best player gets lazy, selfish, and stupid.
Yep.
Right behind your own net, and nobody's expecting it, so there's no coverage going on, and you give it up, and then in overtime, you do the exact same thing. You inexplicably just forget to cover.
We'll get to the overtime in a little bit.
It's just stupid hockey, man. It's low IQ, stupid hockey.
I agree with that.
That's all it is.
For sure. I will do a 60-second rundown. I think I only need like 30 seconds for this one.
1, 2, 3, go.
First period, really the entire first 2 periods were fairly even hockey on the face of it. The Avs are able to survive and get a fantastic play from Nathan MacKinnon to get up 1-0. Just a pure individual effort. Great work. Simply all over on that one. The Kraken do come back at them in the second period, get the game back to 1, but a nice play from Dennis Mulligan off the bench gets sprung by Cale Makar and has the finish to get the Avs back up 2-1 in that period. AJ kind of already described the third. The Avs worked really, really hard to get down to the nitty-gritty time of this game with a 2-1 lead, and then it falls apart on the stick of Nathan MacKinnon. Ends up costing them the win, and there's a lot of factors in overtime where the Avs never touch the puck and end up losing 3-2. It's tough because, yes, there's the obvious glaring issue from Nathan MacKinnon in this hockey game. But I think you're looking up and down this lineup for your stars, and you didn't really get enough out of them. You got one great play from Nathan MacKinnon. Mikko Rantanen actively hurt you again in this game, even if the call is pretty questionable. Actively put you on a 5-on-3.
Both of them got crushed at 5v5.
Yep. It's just not good enough from the guys that have to be great for this hockey team.
I think they're at the point they should put them back together.
I'm here for it. Something to spark a little something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would try it. Especially because we see that Val Nichushkin's not healthy. I know he's still sick.
But I
know he's battling that illness, but
since
we haven't
he came back.
Yeah, we haven't seen that same level of burst. We saw it tonight. He had a chance to go around a guy, doesn't, makes a nice play. They get a scoring chance out of it, but then you see he, in overtime gets beat.
Yep.
I mean, just gets beat badly, and that's not the kind of thing that we've become accustomed to seeing out of Val Nichushkin. And I don't know, man. It's time to start tinkering.
Blaze, can you give me some positives here out of this game? You at least had a good PK, maybe some of the stuff at 5-on-5.
Great.
Sure, I mean, great start.
Yeah,
Right? MacKinnon gets a goal. We talked about him kind of living and dying by him. Again, started out great. That's what you wanted to see from the leader.
A fair point.
But, yeah, I mean, it's a bummer to put in all that work and then for just a few seconds of hockey just to destroy it.
It's a lot harder with a game like this.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, and Georgiev played great. Made some huge stops. Got lucky on some as well, where it was just,
I think you can take a little bit of issue with the overtime one, but certainly in regulation.
That's still, I mean, I know it's short side and you feel like you should have that, but that's
posting in.
Posting
It's a great
in,
shot.
you get, hats off to the shooter.
It's
Like, I'd love for Georgiev to have that one, but he had like 4 stops on breakaways in this game.
In the same way that in the Dallas game, you're asking your goalie to help your team. Tonight, you're asking the team to help your goalie.
Yeah. Given what happened yesterday, I think that it's really hard to not feel really good overall about what they got out of Alexander Georgiev.
Yep.
He was in line to be your number 1 star of the game.
Until he wasn't.
Well, until the team in front of him completely fails him.
He's hung out to dry. I mean, you can't
Completely fails him.
That second goal is not on him.
Not at
In
all.
no way. And on no planet is any goaltender in that situation at fault.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
It's,
you're mad at Devon Taves for doing literally nothing.
for sure. He's
also
not covering anything.
But all of it is the entire
Devontae's is also expecting Nathan MacKinnon to make a human real
yeah
play.
to make not an I'm playing NHL 22 play.
Right.
Just an all world dumbass play.
Yep.
I don't know of any other way to put it. It is what he was trying to accomplish there is absolutely insane.
Yep. There's just no reason for it.
It's
so
so
irresponsible.
selfish.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
irresponsible, especially game situation.
What do you have to gain? The risk versus the reward is nothing. Nathan MacKinnon now still has the puck in his own zone.
And he maybe skates it out and maybe doesn't, and and maybe there's a world where he goes. We talked about in the multiverse, everything is possible.
There's a world where he took that 200 feet and ended the game.
Yeah,
but
he scores the goal, he scores, and it's 3-1, and we're all, he's king of the game, and we're high-fiving, and, it's all good. But, he doesn't get there by making that move. No. That is unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable.
And it's tough because
he knows it, too.
No, he knew
Oh,
it
you saw-
immediately.
look at what he did.
He,
afterward.
he
was
knew
pissed.
it immediately that is squarely on him, that 22 guys just looked at him and said, what, Nate?
Yeah.
And to be honest, it so rarely happens.
Right.
Like, he does so many amazing things for them. He gets them on the right foot in this game with a brilliant individual effort.
Just straight up
And-
owns Brandon Tanev.
And just there are no other words for it. It's so bad, man.
And this is what makes this game so hard to talk about, because you go through 57 minutes and you said the Avs played well. They didn't play their A game. It wasn't great.
No.
But they're on a Sega Baba and they played good quality, solid
They
hockey.
grinded through
They did what they had
tough
to do.
situations
Yep.
and tough situations that they put themselves in.
To a certain extent,
they
for sure.
they took penalties. They were irresponsible and undisciplined. The Matt Nieto high stick in the
Was just
third
bad.
period
It's
is
just bad.
Is one where you're just like, dude, you have got to be kidding with this.
And you're looking at a good hockey game. You even look at Seattle's first goal. That's just a good play from the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yep.
They win a battle down low and they get a great tip out front. I mean, it's Nichushkin again loses a battle.
I mean, if you go back a little bit further, Bo has a turnover on that shift too. But there's 2 hockey teams out there, right?
Yeah. And the Seattle, we talked about it before the game. Seattle Kraken's a good hockey team.
And with that goal, you can reasonably say, okay, they're good. With the game tying goal, I'm not giving Seattle any credit.
They didn't do anything.
They mind controlled Nathan MacKinnon.
Jaden Schwartz took an absolute freebie
Yep.
off Nathan MacKinnon. And Devon Taves doesn't cover his guy in front.
Yep. Just it's all good. It's really, really tough with guys like MacKinnon with that, because if Brad Hunt does that, you go, well, he's an AHL defenseman. Like, that's going to happen. With MacKinnon, you expect better.
I mean, you demand better.
That's fair. Certainly the Colorado Avalanche need better. Put it that way. You cannot have your best players throwing games away for you and expect to.
And that's really where we got, like, Kale McCarr makes a great stretch pass. Dennis Malgin finishes it off. Nathan MacKinnon makes a great individual effort. Their best players put them in positions to win the game as well.
They did.
And their role players did a great job. And Alexander Georgiev is your best penalty killer. But your penalty kill in this game is
A++.
stupendous.
Yeah.
Is the best is teach tape level of good.
Seattle
it's
got
tremendous penalty killing tonight.
Of 5 power plays, including 2 minutes of 5-on-3. They had 1 for sure, maybe 2 quality chances across all of them.
Yeah, and they have like 13 shots on goal or something like that on the power play.
Yep.
Like they get a ton of shots, but not very many of them are really high quality except for the
first power play.
The Alexander Wenberg chance on the back door is their best scoring chance across 5 power plays.
And even that power play was 1 chance, and the Avs kind of dominated the rest of it.
They were phenomenal on the PK in this game, and it all got wasted.
And it's tough because if you're sitting in a room where this is a one-off game, I think there's a lot of positives you take away from this. You say, well, they played all this good hockey, this, that, the other thing. The problem is they lost against New Jersey, they lost against Dallas, and then they give away a point tonight. Now it's 3 games in a row. You got to start figuring it out.
And the schedule is setting up. I mean, San Jose and LA come in.
They
here
do
this
have
week.
some softballs coming
and
through.
like LA is a good team. Like that's not an automatic dub, but it needs to be close to it now.
Yeah,
because you keep giving games away. Well, you got games in hand. Well, the game in hand advantage that you had on Dallas went down by 1.
Yep, and you lost.
You've got to start cleaning this up now because, like what you were just talking about, 3 games in a row, that's not cutting it in the playoffs. You can't have
you lose 3 games in a row in the playoffs.
well, not 3 shitty games, but 2 shitty games and then some bad luck because that shit happens all the time in the playoffs. You're not bouncing back if you lose 3 games in the playoffs. Sorry,
this happen all the time in the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely.
And
That's what I'm saying.
You
really
can't
have those 2
really
games that you had
close
before.
games like this are what the playoffs are made of.
Yep. And you have to be able
You
to
feel like
close.
you're getting trolled right there with that picture. I'm sorry.
the Tanev Classic.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I mean, it's just this late in the season, like this is a little concerning that, the Avs really need to clean some of and it's brain farts.
Yeah,
It's a MacKinnon brain fart where it's just
This is so free, man.
so bad.
Do literally anything else, and you're fine on that play.
Every other decision.
Dude could have stood still with the puck, and it would have worked out better.
He could have picked it up and thrown it at the ref and taken a penalty, and it would have been less dangerous.
Not wrong the way the Avs PK was going.
It's just a tremendous disappointment from undoes all the good work that they did.
Yep.
And this is a razor thin margin in this hockey game. You're up 2-1. Shots at 5v5 were mostly even until late when
the score affected.
Yeah, exactly. When they're protecting a third period
sagging,
lead,
for sure.
Like you play a great second period that puts you in position to win a hockey game. You get through a 2-minute 5-on-3 to open the third period. You don't score on your power play, but you take a bunch of shots.
It's hard to have an issue with the Avs power play tonight. Both their power plays were very good.
Create quality scoring chances throughout that you just don't score on them.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just it's a really big disappointment. You were absolutely flying at the start of the coming into these 3 difficult games.
Yep.
It's a tough stretch. Those are 3 really good teams, but the Avs are pretty good too, and they didn't play like it. You walked out with 1 point.
With one out of 6 points, it's not okay, we got through this. This was a step back.
Salvaging it with the extra point tonight.
At least you got
one extra point. You're like, it could have been worse, right?
But it could have been a whole lot better. And
it's not great. Like, you don't love it, but hey, you get out of it.
The frustration is much more of how they got to that 1 point.
Yeah.
Than it being 1 point.
Yeah, and it is great. Hey, it's not nothing.
Well, and
if you're gonna lose games, you'd rather lose them in overtime, but you don't have the runway to lose games. Like, yeah, they are securely in a playoff spot. They're going to make the postseason.
It's not even worth talking about.
The two teams that are chasing are Nashville and Calgary. One who actively sold at the deadline is getting and is just not going to be very good, and the other one that just can't get it together. Yeah. Like the Avs are going to make the postseason, but the way that they played this game tonight makes you worry about who they are when they get there.
Yep.
For sure.
Because if you get it, on the off chance that you get a Seattle in the first round, that's going to be a hard fought series. All those games are going to All of the games that they've played, all 3 games that they played this year have been 1-goal games, razor tight. Like,
Yep.
it's been the little things that get you, and that's the Avalanche. The Avalanche just can't continue to live and die by the big mistake and the big play like this. That their commitment to the details has to be complete. It's just frustrating, and it wasn't like they played a phenomenal hockey game.
No,
It's a B- game from them. But given the situation, you're completely fine with it.
On a Segababa, again, for 58 minutes, for everything but one play of this hockey game in regulation, they played well enough to win. And one play completely tore that apart.
Yeah, I mean, it is situational too, right? Like, if they win yesterday, you
Right.
feel great about the one. You're like, they
Right. But they didn't set themselves up for that situation.
no.
Yeah, you set themselves up to be a little more desperate, and it didn't go that way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just that puck management at the end is just unacceptable.
Well, it's
it
just-
just is.
And it's a bummer when you watch Winnipeg win, you watch Minnesota win,
Yep.
Dallas obviously you watch win.
It's just the Avs have not done a good enough job making their own life easy.
Yeah.
It's things like this. You could be a lot more okay. And part of the reason I still feel confident in Colorado is because they're doing this to themselves.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going against good teams and it's like, oh, the Avs just aren't as good as that team. It's the Avs beating themselves.
That's
And
true.
if they can figure that out, you have 100% faith in them going on a deep run, but they have to figure it out.
Yeah, and they still have games in hand too. I know, like, they're sitting at the bottom of the playoff bracket right now, but like they have 3 games on everybody in the Central.
Realistically, even in this situation, you pretty much can count them as ahead of Minnesota in the Central.
You mean Winnipeg?
I mean, both of them really, but
Yeah, I mean, we don't need to. I'm not doing
we
this
don't
tonight.
have to hash it out. It's
The
fine.
reality is that their schedule is not hard coming up. They've got a couple of games here and there, but they've got a lot of easy winnable games. If we don't see them body San Jose 2 days from now, that has to be a straight up get right
Then-
game.
then you
They
have-
need to come out flying. They need to shred the Sharks. And if they don't, then for me, I'm going to start getting nervous.
This game should be like preliminary alarms going off.
Yeah.
If they lose to the Sharks, it's a 5-alarm fire.
Not a they're going to miss the postseason conversation, but you're trying to use this time of year to tighten the screws on your team, to drill down on the details. If you're still making huge mistakes like this at this time of year, it does not bode well for what comes next. And injuries are obviously playing a role in this, but they also are what they are. And the team on the ice just has to be better. And it's not even asking a ton. They just needed to be 3 minutes better tonight.
You have,
One big mistake better, and then who knows if he doesn't make that mistake and they earn it. If they beat you, like their first goal, they beat you. Their third goal, they beat you.
but they only get to score the third goal because you let them
Yeah,
have the
because
second goal.
you can't continue to give things away like this.
Yep. And look, the Avs have a 3-game homestand here before they go out on a pretty big road trip. You don't need it, but it sure feels like they got to get 3 out of 3.
2-1 is an absolute bare minimum of
yeah.
acceptable for this.
Yep.
I mean, with the strength of schedule for the next few days,
It
you better
should
hope they
really
get
be
all
3.
3 because that next week gets considerably harder.
Yeah. It's not anything crazy. It's not like the Avs are going to fall off a cliff tomorrow or anything, but it's stuff that they have to look in the mirror and say, hey, they can fix this. They have to go out and fix this. This is not some ethereal issue like injuries or weird puck bounces. This is just they need to figure it out and play better.
Yeah, I mean it kind of feels like a rudderless ship without Landeskog here. Like they're just not. I don't know.
I mean, I
You've
think
got Mikko screaming at
Mikko's-
people every day.
Like there's no voice there to like right the ship. Sorry, I keep on making ship references, but no, seriously, like it just feels like everything's kind of out of sorts right now for the Avs.
It was a really shitty week.
Yeah.
Long, tough.
Well, I mean, you the games that they play, you know, the high that you have after beating Vegas,
And then
completely wiped out, and then you're 1,000% disappointed by what happens at the deadline.
bad deadline. The New Jersey game
not gonna-
is crazy and not good. Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
The Stars game is just objectively terrible from Colorado.
just a dumpster fire, man.
And then you put yourself in a position to get things righted, and you throw it away against Seattle.
Yep.
The chain of events does
I mean, you
not
do feel
good.
like, hey, you're building in the right direction at least.
Again,
you didn't give up 7 goals.
Again, if the context wasn't the Avs have lost 3 games in a row, I think there's a ton of positives you take out of this game.
Yeah,
But that's not the world that we live in.
man, that PK was so good, and you just waste it.
Yep. You survived a 5-on-3,
Yeah.
and you give it away. I don't know. I don't have anything
let's
else
just-
to say. Yeah.
Let's talk about the Mikko thing real quick, and then let's get out of here.
Mikko gets an extra 2 to create the 5-on-3 situation. For,
Second game in a row, he gets it on
for
Sportsman.
yelling at the refs, and there's like a line here. Yes, 100%. That should not be a penalty. People do that to the refs regularly, and that call doesn't get made. The other side of it, Mikko has gotten this call against him 4 times, I think, now this year. He's got to stop.
He has to have figured out by now that they are looking for this.
Yep. Specifically from him.
Yeah.
They're going to call that.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. The
He's-
refs know.
He has to stop. He has to knock it off.
And that's what I'm talking about. Like somebody needs to pull him aside that he respects.
Yeah.
To basically tell him in a polite way to shut the hell up when he's on the ice.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not going to change the ref's mind. It feels good for yourself. It's a little selfish, honestly. And like, instead, you just got to kind of take that anger, that upset feeling, and produce.
Do what you got to do. Go back to breaking sticks if that's
Yeah.
what you got to do. But you can't keep doing this.
I'd rather
Yep.
have him break a stick in front of the bench than yell at the ref.
Yep.
And get another 2 minutes, man.
Yeah, it's
Yelling
brutal.
at the, you're trying to work the ref, man. It's not working.
You're working them the wrong way.
Yeah, it's working against you, dog.
that's-
Like,
I mean,
you gotta stop, dude.
That's an art, and screaming at the refs is not the art of trying to, get calls going your way when shit's going
It's not
bad.
what it's going to do.
Yeah.
It's just so disappointing.
Yeah.
Good? Good?
It's
Are
a
we done here?
shitty week, man. Let's slam that door shut. Everybody has the day off tomorrow. We have the day off. The Avs have the day off. They're not practicing. Eric Johnson's out of a boot, apparently.
Yeah,
According
supposedly
to
steps
Evans.
on the
Wow.
ice today.
So that happened really fast.
Crazy.
Come
So-
back soon, please.
Yeah.
You and Josh.
That's all I got. We're going to get out of here. We are off tomorrow. You
Bad
know,
vibes night.
Yeah.
It goes that way sometimes. The Avs don't get 2 days off in a row for the rest of the month, so you'll catch us at every single game, though.
Yep.
It's like an ice rink in here right now, too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very cold up here.
Yeah.
Super chilly. We appreciate you hanging out with us. Did we get any super chats? I assume not.
We're not doing the super emote out. We're all wearing
Yeah,
hoodies.
this isn't like a bit here.
No, it's just cold.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just
cold.
like we're all gonna be listening to My Chemical Romance as we walk out. Like it's just cold up here.
Well, chat, I'm not okay.
Nice.